One band, one sound, man. I want to talk about Drumline because I watched the movie with my son. It's crazy interesting, man, because I looked at this movie with a different lens. Being in leadership, we have a leadership podcast.
Yeah.
That's all I saw in the movie was like leadership. And I want to talk about these three main characters. What's going on, people? Welcome back to Be More to Do More podcast, where we help you to become the person you need to become to do the things you call to do. Your white tone in the building. And
what's up, man?
What's up, bro?
Henry A. Harden.
The what?
The third.
Don't forget the
3.
Hey, man.
You know what you look like holding the mic like that?
What was that?
You ever seen 8 Mile? Mekhi Phifer. I got my man B Rabbit up next.
Hey, man, these mics just be got me feeling a little, little saucy. You know what I mean? Like I'm about to break out and do an R&B song or something. You know what I mean? Speaking of songs, one band, one sound.
One band,
one sound, man.
Taking it back.
Yeah, I'm taking it way back. Now, for you youngins who don't know what I'm talking about the movie Drumline. How far is Drumline out of our reach as far as our target audience? You think some people remember Drumline?
Yeah, people definitely remember Drumline.
Okay.
Our target audience, for sure.
Okay, because it was definitely for the culture at that time.
Yeah.
I was playing football, bro, at the time the movie came out, and I wanted to be. I think it was my last year. Was it my last year? No, I don't think. I think it was my 11th grade year. But it made me want to be on the drum line. So, nevertheless, that movie.
I think everybody wanted to play the drums at one point.
Yeah,
didn't have the skill set at all to play the drums, right? The coordination, but we're gonna act like we can beat on something,
right? Now, my cousin Jay Mitch. Now. He is like, he could have been in the movie. Like to this day, I'd be like, bro, why'd you quit band to play football? Like, like he did the reverse, man. But shout out to Jay Mitch, man. That boy is fire with the sticks, man. He fire with the production too, man. So y'all go follow my boy, man. Jay Mitch, he growing too. But anyway, one band, one sound, man. I want to talk about Drumline because I watched the movie with my son. Although he probably didn't comprehend it. Well, I know he didn't comprehend it. At 16, 17 months. So I watched the movie.
Yeah.
And it's crazy interesting, man, because I looked at this movie with a different lens. Being in leadership, we have a leadership podcast.
Yeah.
That's all I saw in the movie was like leadership. And I want to talk about these three main characters. Let me pull my notes up. And the main characters I want to get into is Dr. Lee, Sean, and then you have Devon, young Devon.
Yep.
I said Miles at first.
I think his last name is Miles.
Okay, Devon Miles. Oh, okay. So I want to talk about Dr. Lee, Sean, and Devon. Now, all of these characters had their own personality. They had their own character, but they also had their own challenges, which pushed them, to come together at the end and create this type of success for their band, right? And when I see these characters, man, I see these characters every day in leadership or in corporate or, whatever settings, church organization, whatever settings. And I just want to get into that, man, and just talk about each character. So I'm going to start with, number one, I'm going to start with Dr. Lee. Dr. Lee. So if you guys know Dr. Lee, what, Flight of the Bumblebee.
I'm like, this dude here.
Right.
I would have been so pissed.
Right.
I would have been so pissed.
But the thing with Dr. Lee is that, okay, so if you think about it, we all have a Dr. Lee. He's an old head, right?
Yeah.
He didn't have the I guess access to okay, so like, how we got all these tools and technologies that help things, to make things like easier for us.
Right.
So we can maneuver in and out of careers and stuff like that because we got all these tools. But Dr. Lee is an old head who fell in love with music, right? So he had to actually learn the music, and he was in love with not just urban music,
right.
or not just, but music, right? So
like the art form,
right?
itself, like,
the art of music, and you could just tell he had a respect for the art of music, but it got in the way a little bit.
Oh yeah,
you see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And his own perspective of how he viewed the art, because he respected it so much, got in the way.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know his boss was pressing him like, "Yo, we need to do something." Right. You feel me? Like, and his other boss, his boss just really didn't care. I forgot his name. I didn't include him.
The president,
I think of the school, right?
Uh-huh.
So he was pressing like Dr. Lee to like, "Yo, something need to shake," right?
Mm-hmm.
But Dr. Lee, he refused to cross his morals or his musical morality, to downgrade and do something that was watered down to him. But it caused a lot of issues because the school was stagnant in the band arena, so they couldn't excel because of his own ego.
Yeah, but I think too, man, like, it's why you got to know your audience too, right? Like, right. I don't know, it's just you're the, what is this, a band director? Is what he is? Or?
I think he was.
Right, band director of an HBCU,
right?
And you playing Flight of the Bumblebee.
Yeah,
like, it
man.
just it's just like you also you got to know your leadership. You got to know your setting that you're in.
Right.
How you gonna come into a HBCU and like not play the stuff that people that go to HBCUs that people went to the HBCUs because of the culture. Right. And you playing stuff that ain't even this is where they originally came from. Right. Nobody cares about that. Right. We want to hear what's current.
That's true. That's true. But think about your manager, your old head manager, mm-hmm. who don't see where the company is going. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like in the future, they're stuck in their old ways. Mm-hmm. Like I've seen this so many times. I ain't gonna call them old head for the sake of being not genuine, being nice, I guess, because a lot of people won't take that right. But you have a lot of people who's mature or older, who's just stuck in their old way of doing things, right? Where they tend to forget where the culture is of the company now. You know what I mean? Or where the culture of the company is going, because all the changes is going around in the company or whatever. I even see it in church, in church organizations. Like, they want to do the same thing the same way, 100% of the time, like all the time. And it's causing a dismissal of a younger generation to come in because they don't know how to communicate with them, right? As far as their cultures and all that, because they're so stuck and caught up in what they believe were deemed to be right in that particular organization. So have you seen that before?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So I wanted to talk about Dr. Lee, and his struggle was pretty much finding a way to fit in without watering down his taste of music. I think he did it one time, and you could just see the look on his face when what was this? When the guy said, "I want my boy on the field," right? And he put his boy on the field, and they played, and you could just tell the disgust on his face after he got through. Like, he was that dude was aggravated, man. I felt the intensity, man, and you could just tell that he was battling within himself. That he didn't really want to water down his viewpoint or his morals when it comes to the art form, but also it got in the way. So that's number one. Number two is I want to talk about Sean.
Actually, before you go to Sean, okay. And this is what I like to call Dr. Lee, right? And Dr. Lee is unseasoned, right? Like, and a quote that he said, right? This is like you talked. It's everything that you talked about, right? His quote was, "Educate and then entertain."
Wow. Okay.
And he didn't really understand, like, and it's almost like I don't know. I think the people that want to do things the right way, quote unquote, the right way, they have a little bit of Dr. Lee in them.
Yeah.
Because they want to get the work done.
Right.
Or they want to get, instead of, but sometimes there's a way to do both, which what we've seen at the end of the movie. There's a way to be able to, incorporate it all, right? But like, so he didn't have the flexibility as a leader,
right, to
be able to educate while you entertain.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Like it's okay. It's just again him being a little bit unseasoned. Yeah. Right. Right. If I had to call him something,
he ain't got no season.
He ain't got no season.
Now I would say,
guys ain't got no, people just ain't got no swag.
No, nothing.
They just, boy, what you?
Boiled chicken, bro. Just boiled chicken,
boiled chicken,
boiled chicken, bro.
That's who he is. That's who he was, right? And he didn't really excel until he really listened to his team.
That's true. But he had something to offer too, though.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Because he was wise, and the fact that he was into the art of music, you know what I mean? And you could tell he was very knowledgeable. Like you say, he was big on education. So he had a lot to add too.
And then you look at the other side of it, right? And I'm done with this point after this.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
But then you look at the other side of it as well, and the guy at Morris Brown,
right?
He all entertainment.
Yeah, that's all.
He brought out Petey Pablo,
Flash,
right? Flash, like got the what they the ones that did the powder.
I think so.
But they all entertainment, right?
Yeah.
So like
flashy and all. Yeah,
that. He did to put on a show,
right?
At the end of the day, forget if you learn how to play this music or whatever. But I think I think this is where people underappreciate Dr. Lee too, is because Dr. Lee's thinking about the future.
That's true.
He's thinking about the long term. If you don't learn how to read music, you don't learn how to where these different things come from, right? Like it's gonna be hard for you to excel past this point in your life.
That's true.
And I think that's also just one of the things that we take for granted sometimes. Right. Whenever we do have a Dr. Lee on our team, is like he's really just trying to provide structure. Right. So that way we can be excel after this. Right. Versus just having a good time and then you see that you see it all the time, right? People have a good time, and then at the end of it, right, they ain't got nothing to show for it.
That's true. I think I'll be a Dr. Lee, bro.
Yeah.
Because I sometimes I'm not seasoned. You know what I mean? Well, I like entertainment, but I think how can I say this? I am more about the art than, you know what I mean, than just flashy. Like when you have an appreciation for something, you want other people to have that appreciation versus just looking at it surface level, right? So I think I kind of, I ain't gonna say I can identify with that.
Yeah, you can identify for sure.
But I also see where, okay, you're not leaving any room for, a type of success, especially in that era, back because you just prong to what you see in your head as what's good music and this and that and other. So but yeah, there are people like in companies and culture, like you always had that one person who just back in the day, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know why we got to do all this, texting and, chat PTG. What is that? You know what I mean? Like you got people like that today, man. So, but they offer a lot of wisdom. Sean, I want to talk about Sean.
I'm interested in hearing your take on Sean.
All right, man. So Sean, so when you first meet Sean, you don't really get what I'm about to tell you. Okay. Because when you first meet Sean, you get arrogant, a-hole, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But as you go in the movie, you start to learn that, he really had a passion for music, just like Dr. Lee. He kind of identified with Dr. Lee. That's why Dr. Lee chose him. Dr. Lee told him, he said, do you remember why, I chose you? And, to be the lead, the percussion lead or whatever. He was like, why? He was like, because you love the sound of the line more than you love the sound of your own drum or whatever. So I can tell that there was some respect and, the fact that Dr. Lee could identify with him. And But you can just tell, like, if there was another story written, and you can just tell that Sean got beside himself.
Oh yeah,
he started feeling himself.
Yeah,
until Devon came.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So
undefended.
He
was undefended. Like nobody has challenged him.
Right.
At this particular point in time.
Right.
Devon got there.
Right. So you can tell that he was just arrogant. He was the man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? He lost his way, in a sense that, where he's not more so focused on the percussion, but he's focused on being a man. You know what I mean? So we have like leaders today who may have been the man before.
Right.
You know what I mean? But they're so focused on trying to get back to that status of being the man or maintaining the status of being the man that they forget about their team.
Yeah.
And
remember them old rappers, like these old rappers, right? Like,
right, yeah.
Like you was popping in the 90s, maybe a little bit of 2000s, right? You lost it in 2010.
Right.
But now it's 2021, you still trying to help somebody else get.
So let's talk about that though, man, because I hear like a lot of old school rappers. Now, granted, they didn't get money like how these new rappers get.
Right.
So, and being that they are the pioneers, I can see why they feel away. Mm-hmm. But the new rappers kind of figured it out, how to make it a business. So, like, why is it that, they feel some type of animosity to these young guys? You know what I mean? Like, why can't they just, hey, let me show you the ropes, because given like the young guy, like, hey man, let's just partner out this consulting fee. You know what I mean? Like, there's ways to get money like outside of being the man. Mm-hmm. So why can't they just, come together or whatever?
Yeah. If I was an old rapper, man, what I would do, I would host parties, right? Mm-hmm. And what I would do is I would have call it open mic night, right? And I would have everybody sign up.
Right.
But they got to put their social media handle. They got to put all that stuff, right?
Right.
And I'm identifying through that social media. Like, I'm basically looking at this list of, let's say, 10, 15 people, whatever it is. And I'm going to see the person that has the best, like, following, the best buzz, that's most consistent on social media, that has like everything except the experience, like the knowledge, like of the industry, and I'm going to partner with that person and then help them become, using my influence and my connections to be able to help them get their foot in the door. Right. So that way they bring me along, because like that's like you said it right. Like a lot of these older rappers or older artists in general, they even got to be rap. Right. A lot of these older artists didn't really get the type of money that the younger artists are getting now, especially through shows and all that. Right. So, okay, well, what can you have the name, right? If somebody says this person's name, they know exactly who it is. Oh yeah, they the person that, since we talk about P.D. Pablo, let's do P.D. Pablo. Like P.D. Pablo, like, came up with something, right? Like, or did this, like, oh yeah, I heard of P.D. Pablo. P.D. Pablo, oh yeah, man, yeah, a legend, right? Is he really a legend? Maybe, I don't know, right? But the fact that he has a recognizable name. That's true. You know what I'm saying? So like, he could take somebody because he's from North Carolina, right, and do this, right, in Charlotte, whatever city that's popular or whatever, and just, he could have put the baby on. You know what I mean? Put the baby on. Anybody, just like, and then you come up through helping them develop. That's true. Them versus trying to. I'm gonna put out a song in 2020. No, like, nobody wants to hear from, you know what I'm saying? Like, not for real, you know? Right. Unless you're Jay-Z, that's different. Yeah. But see, okay, I'm gonna go back to the Jay-Z point, but I think what happened is sidetrack. Yeah. No, because I was going there. I think so what happened is that, like, a lot of people, like Sean case, you forget your why, you know what I mean? Like, it's for the love of the art, just like Dr. Lee. See, this is why I rock with Dr. Lee, because he loved the art. He never lost that, you know what I mean? Now, yeah, granted, it is hindering them, but he still loved the art. Now, you can tell Sean, he lost his feel, or his, I ain't gonna say he lost his compassion, but he lost his why behind why he's the section leader. Because he care about the percussion section, you know what I mean, or whatever.
Now he did say in one part, like, I don't want Devon to mess up the chemistry of the you know, the because he was respected. You know what I mean? But what happened is, now going back to like the old like artist or whatever, once you lose your why, then you begin to focus on me or I. Mm-hmm. Oh, I like that. You lose your why, you focus on I.
Look at you.
You know what I mean? Bars. Once you lose your why, you focus on I. And what happened is that now another person who's the man come in, and now your eye is now your eye is devalued, because now you have another person who's the man. What we say, fame is fleeting. You know what I mean? So it's not but so long that you're gonna not be in the spotlight. So if you maintain your focus on the why, then you will come up with other creative ways on how to help other people in your industry. Right. You know what I mean? Just like how you say, like, if they wouldn't have focused on me being the man and me this and that, looking good, flashy, versus, you know, just being in love with the art of rap or music, it'll be like, oh man, this new artist is fire coming up. Let me help him. You know what I mean? You show the road. You know who's a great example of that? Not only Jay-Z, but Drake. Oh yeah. You know what I mean? I'm surprised you can say Drake. But if you think about it, this is why these artists have longevity. Jay-Z put on artists, Drake put on artists, you know, because they love. Every time I hear Jay-Z talk in the interview, he talk about, you know, the rap. He was like, hip hop is still young and we still trying to figure things. Like when I hear him talk, he's talking about the industry of hip hop. So his focus is his why is to build up hip hop. Right. You know what I mean? Versus me just being the man and in the spotlight, because you see, he might not drop a song, but every 2 years or so. Right.
But even think about how they did it, right? Like, okay, you think about Jay-Z. Right. And how he's influenced the game. He really signed a lot of great people. That's true. Right. He signed, I mean, who you got? Obviously you got Kanye. Right. Then did Kim and them sign with Jay-Z at one point? Dipset, like, I think so. They had Rocket. There was Rocket at one point, but like let's take two artists that for sure came from Jay-Z. Right. Kanye West, J. Cole. Oh yeah. Kanye West and Kanye West is more of the older school, like older school. Oh, Benny Siegel too. Benny Siegel, right? Yeah. That whole state property movement, right? Yeah. So all these, you know, you got all those different artists, right? And again, these are people that signed with Rockefeller. Right. If you look at Drake's, like Drake didn't have a lot of people that signed to him that was successful. Right. Like most people that signed to Drake really don't blow up, to be honest with you, right? Oh, yeah. But what Drake has done a really great job at is identifying new artists and partnering on songs with them, right? He knows what's coming. Lil Baby, right? Like he on the Yes Indeed, right? Partnered with them, jumped on his song. Migos. Migos. Oh, Migos, yeah, Versace. Migos, yeah. Right, the Versace remix. Like, it's so many different artists that he's identified that, these somebody else that could be next up. Right. And he's helped propel them to those heights through his songs. Right. I mean, you can even look at, you know, J. Cole to a certain extent too, right? He gave J. Cole his first, you know, number one song. Oh, he did? Yeah. I didn't know that. I think hold on, what's First Person Shooter. Oh, you talking about a recent song? Oh, yeah. I did. Okay. J. Cole never had a number one. I didn't know he never had never had number one snap. Single. But he had a song with Drake. And it would have happened eventually, right? Yeah, like, you know, but you know, the fact of the matter is that it happened with Drake. Yeah, makes sense. He does it different. Like, so even, and that's where what it boils down to is really understanding that everybody's not going to do things the same. So, you know, you're getting the same result of spreading this influence. Right. They just did it differently. Yeah, man, because he's focused on the why and not the I. Ooh, I love that, bro. I'm going to journal that today.
or somebody steal it, man. But anyway, yeah, man. So that's on Sean, man. So like you can kind of tell he lost his way. He started focusing on him until this young fresh brother came. He said, "I don't care if he was in your mother's bedroom." This fresh young Devon, man. Let's talk about Devon, man. This young bullish kid, man. Raw, natural talent. Fresh. Got the sauce, you know what I mean? He come in, but he ain't got no discipline
at all. So Dr. Lee is unseasoned. Sean is undefended. And then you got Devon undisciplined. Undisciplined.
Hey man, can you say that again? I like that. Dr. Lee is unseasoned. Sean is undefended. And Devon is undisciplined. I love it, bruh. Golly, hold on. Nah, that's a laugh. Nah, I don't want that. Anyway, never mind. I love it. Now we got this kid. He's the talent. We know this person. Everybody know this person. I've been this person, and I'm gonna say because even like in corporate, right? Like I'm the talent that working at a bank. I can get like 5 or 6 accounts in the drive-through. You know what I mean? Like, can't nobody do that. Nobody get nothing in the drive-through. But I can do that. I can sell on the fly. Like I was the man. You know what I mean? Can't nobody tell me nothing, man. When I know how to sell. I ain't trying to. Nah, I know what I'm doing. I was that guy. In corporate, but that's why I can identify him. But Devon was this young, undisciplined kid, man, with a lot of talent. A lot of natural talent. The reason why I say natural, because as you guys know, he didn't know how to read music.
Right.
But he knew how to play music. And he can pick up on, music just by looking and hearing, which, we have a lot of kids out here like that too, who may not have, we have people who probably didn't have to put the work in, but just pick things up and it became their thing. This is Devon, man, but due to, his father was missing in his life. Mother raised him. She did a pretty good job, but you can tell that Devon was fighting for something and he was trying to be seen and heard and, he wanted to be respected, because of this one piece that was missing in his life, which was his father. Me, when I look at movies, I go deep.
Well, what's so crazy? I don't know if you thought about this. He had the nerve, right, to finish graduation. If you haven't seen the movie, go watch the movie. Well,
it's definitely a spoiler alert because that movie too old for y'all not to see it, man.
Go watch the movie. And if you haven't seen it in a while, if you haven't seen Drumline in a while, go watch it before you even finish this episode, right? Because it's gonna allow you to be able to appreciate what we're saying a little bit more. If you like watch it and get it, it's fresh on you,
right? Definitely.
But so. If you really look at it and think about it, right? He graduated. He went to, and we were talking about decisions, right? And he went to wherever his dad worked and was like, I was going to get this to you, but I want to let you know I made it without you type thing.
Right.
Had he not done that, he wouldn't have gotten his breakthrough later on in the movie. Because think about it.
Oh, man.
Because he did that, right? And he made his father feel guilty or whatever, right?
Right.
His father ended up doing what? What he sent him?
Oh,
he sent him tapes.
He sent of his old band or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
And he was like, here's some artists that you know and some that you don't know, right?
Right.
Because Devon started listening to those tapes.
Right.
Then he wanted to get some stuff off his mind or whatever. So he ended up running into Sean.
Oh.
At the play, like, and it's just again decisions.
It came full circle.
And those songs,
that's heavy.
Or that whatever he put, whatever, right, led to him going to in that whole collaboration with Dr. Lee.
Right. That is
crazy, right?
That is
crazy. And he not did that. He wouldn't have, because he would have never went to the room.
That's true.
They would have never got onto on the same path.
That's true. That's crazy, man. That one decision. That's deep. That's deep.
One decision.
That's deep, man. But dang, I gotta let that sit. But I didn't even think about that. Like, dang. But yeah, man. So we got Devon, talented kid. Now we again corporate. Have you run into any people like that on your team?
Yeah, man.
They talented, don't want to listen.
Well,
have you been Sean or Devon?
So it's funny. So you say you watched it with your son. So I also watched it with my sons. And I asked and I asked them. I was like, who do y'all feel like y'all more like?
Oh wow!
Like you're more Dr. Lee, more Sean, or more Devon?
Right.
You know what everybody's answer was for the most part?
What
you think it was?
Devon?
Nope. Sean.
For real?
Mm-hmm. Surprisingly, right?
What?
Most everybody said Sean.
Why? Tell me.
I think even my wife said Sean. I feel like.
What? Tell me why.
Because he was more of the middle ground, right? And most people are more middle ground than they are extremists.
Oh, so. I see. Oh.
Yeah.
Dang, he is the middle one.
He's the middle ground. Without him, without Sean, Dr. Lee and Devon could never get there.
So oh snap, bro. So he was a Dr. Lee and a Devon. I'm sitting here explaining it and I ain't even see that. Oh snap, bro.
Get deep, man. Still get deep. Let's get deep, man. So to answer your question, right?
Okay.
Yes. And what it is, man, is like when you have, and again, when you kind of really look at Devon,
right?
It's trauma.
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
that's true.
It's trauma,
right?
And
right.
He struggled to move past, because that was the quote I had for Devon. It was,
dang,
you have to give respect to get
respect. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
And that's his philosophy throughout this whole thing. That's why it's hard for him to, like, whatever, all the struggles that he got going on. He didn't want to cut his hair.
Right.
Didn't feel like he was responsible for him to wake up his roommate, all that stuff. Right. Like, right. Like it was the trauma that he had in his life, probably ultimately from not having his father. Right.
That's true.
But I guess what I'm trying to say is when people have trauma that's unaddressed and they don't understand how to like comprehend it. Right. It prevents them from being able to be as successful as they could be.
That's true. And that's true.
I got somebody on my team where I feel like, man, like this person could be, no doubt about it, they could be better than I am. Period. Wow. Right. But their trauma from whatever won't allow them to be as disciplined as they need to be and process oriented. Right. It won't allow them to channel their inner Dr. Lee.
Makes sense.
So that way they can free up their own space.
Dang, bro.
So it's unfortunate, right?
Right.
And that's where leadership is so important, right? Where my challenge every day is to figure out, how do I get who is Sean? Yeah. How can I get Sean to get this person to where they can become a Sean and ultimately Dr. Lee.
Oh snap, bro. Dang, I wish I had my bars button, bro. Dang, bro. Wait. Gosh. Anyway, man. Dang. I didn't even think about that, bro. That's deep. Yeah. So he is the glue.
He's the glue.
Sean is the glue.
Sean's the glue.
I see why they had him like on the second one. He was like,
oh, was he?
Yeah, he was. I saw a preview before we started the pod, but I guess I didn't watch it because it looked corny. But I mean, no disrespect, but it did. He looked. I think he was the new director. Like he was like the new Dr. Lee. But that makes sense. Now he was, because he understood both sides. Mm-hmm. Dang. Yep. Dang, man. But excuse me. So all right. So we know the challenges. We know the problems of all three. Dr. Lee, he was educated. He loved the art of music, but it interfered with his taste. Yeah. And he couldn't see. Unseasoned. He was unseasoned. I like this. Let's do this. Dr. Lee, number one, was unseasoned. Well educated, well diverse in music, but was unseasoned and couldn't see because of his unseasonedness, you know, who his target audience was. So he didn't know how to cater to them. Number 2, undefended.
Undefended.
I like that word, undefended. What does that mean though?
Undefended means basically like you haven't been challenged. Right?
Oh, so like, undefended. Okay, haven't been challenged. Had a love, have a passion for his, you know, his drumline, but then began to feel himself because he was the man for so long until he got challenged.
Got
now we got beat. He was like, "You better than me." Yeah, I said it. No, but and then we got Devon, undisciplined. Super talented kid, sauce, well seasoned. You know what I mean? But you know, no discipline. And all of these problems started to clash. You know, Dr. Lee Boss came down on him because he didn't want Devon to get in. And Dr. Lee came down on Sean. Because
by the way, Dr. Lee was right. Let's not get it twisted too, because Dr. Lee was like, I don't want him out there because he's undisciplined.
No,
right?
He was. Yeah.
Right. Because what happened was when he put him back out there, that's when they got into that fight.
That's true.
And then the old girl, you know, didn't want to introduce to the parents.
He was mad.
Added more trauma, right? To him, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, Dr. Lee was right.
That's true. And he went against his better judgment. You know what I mean?
Sometimes you have to, though. Sometimes you got to.
That's how you figure it out.
Yeah, like, you know, okay, I know that this person is not ready, but somebody else's perspective of it is, oh, no, they be fine. Right. But I'm telling you, they're not ready.
They need to see it, though.
Yeah, like, but no, just give him a chance. Okay.
Yeah.
Throw him out there. And then it's like, there's a culture moment for that person that, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
As well.
Right.
So it became a culture moment for Devon, like, dang, like, because without, again, everything matters, right? Because without that embarrassment.
Yeah. Oh, that's a humbling moment.
Yeah, it's a humbling moment, right?
Yeah, you need humility.
He wouldn't have got off the line.
Right.
He wouldn't have met with the other guy from Morris Brown.
And seeing how he was.
Right. He like, dang, like, y'all, like, he appreciated Dr. Lee even more. Right. He realized what was on the other side.
Right. See, like, because Devon, he didn't know what a father figure was. Right. Until he ran into the other guy, and he was like, "Oh, okay, Dr. Lee, he really got my back." You know, out here. So I rock with that, man. I rock with that. So they all had these challenges that, you know, kind of clashed together, and then we see like the ultimate success at the end. What happened is that, Dr. Lee people came down on him. Sean, he began to lose his way because he found out he ain't the man no more. Right. You know what I mean? So now he got to go back to his why versus his I. Yep. Because now he got this young talented kid who's undisciplined, who don't have a father figure. Now he got to be the big brother. You know what I mean? Yep. And this kid don't know how to read music, but he's super talented. Right. You know what I mean? So like, what are we gonna do? You know what I mean? So what happened is, y'all seen the movie. So, but we're gonna talk about it anyway. What happened is that, he received the tapes, and he went to go try some stuff out. And then, you know, Sean came in, they got into their altercation with the sticks and all that stuff, man. But one thing he said, this is good. I might steal this. But he said, I'm going to help you read this. Like now Sean went back to his why. You know what I mean? And he began to help Devon. Now Devon is using his talent. Okay, he's helping me. I can trust him. I can trust Dr. Lee. I want to use my talent to now serve the team, because now he's like, yo, I only gotta be in the last whatever. I just want to serve the team with what I'm, you know, what I can do. So now you see this big mesh or whatever, you know, of them collaborating and getting together and leveraging. This is the point that I want to get at. They began to leverage each other's gifts or talents or, you know, things they're good at. So that's the part that I wanted to get at. Like, they leveraged Dr. Lee's wisdom for music, you know, and they played some old school, got some new school feel to it. They let Devon bring in his talent to get the new school rhythm. Mm-hmm. Sean taught Devon how to read music. Right. You know what I mean? Got him back close with Dr. Lee.
Right.
Got Dr. Lee to get him back in the game. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So like now you have this big success story because they all decided to unify and come together and leverage each other's gifts.
Yep. Which leads us to the lyric of the day.
Woo!
Lyric of the week.
Lyric of the week.
Lyric of the week comes from Lil Wayne.
Okay.
I rock to the beat of my drum set.
Oh, rock to the beat of my drum set.
I've been at the top for a while and I ain't jumped yet, right?
All right.
But I rock to the beat of my drum set, right, by Lil Wayne.
Right.
And here's the thing. I rock to the beat of my drum set. When you think about a set,
right,
it's more than one.
More than one drum.
So without all three of them being in line or in step with each other, right, you don't have the success that they end up getting.
That's true.
Because you got the wisdom of Dr. Lee.
Right.
Right. You have the, glue of Sean, right?
Yeah, right.
But then you have the swag of Devon.
Right.
And all those things, that gumbo works out for the best. And that's why they became number one.
Number one. Rock to the set of my, what is that? Rock to
the beat of my drum set.
A rock to the beat of my drum set. My set. That's they set.
That's they set.
Hey man. See, that's why, bro, we just broke down a movie from the 90s, not the early 2000s. y'all better rock with us, man. I'm telling you, then we came with a lyric of the day, man. But I think that's all I got for this one, man. I really wanted to talk about, because it's a lot of leadership tips in there. Y'all go and check out the movie Drumline, man. It's super old but super dope. Especially if you're in a leadership role, it's really good to go look at that and just go in there with a leadership perspective. And, I know when I was a kid, I didn't really get that much out of it. But, man, I want to be cool, man. I want to play the drums.
Right. But Drumline had everybody want to go to HBCU.
Right. I ain't even like school. And I was like, man, shoot, I need to try something out, man. Let me figure something out, man. But go and check that movie out, man.
Yeah.
I think I'm good. You good?
I'm good.
All right, man. Well, y'all be sure to like, subscribe, share this information. Hit the bell.
Hit the bell.
Let's get this information out of here, man. And I think we out. All right.
Stick and move, we can get it done. Call it unity, it ain't no way around it. Cultivating, we get motivation from the big guy. We don't play about him. Going hard for the game.